Carolina out of the American Conference, their first year in the AAC, taking on South Carolina. The Gamecocks coming off a 52-28 Week 1 loss to Texas A&M. Anish Shroff alongside former first-round pick Kelly Stauffer. Steve Spurrier used words like clobbered, manhandled, and embarrassed to describe his team in Week 1. Most of those adjectives they apply on the defensive side of the ball.
And first of all, I agree with Coach Spurrier. When you turn on the tape, it was pretty ugly, but really two main areas. Both of them have to do with pass defense. You can see right there, last week was an absolute debacle. 99 plays, 680 yards, and the desired mode of transportation for A&M was through the air. That's where the problems lie. A lack of pass rush up front and a lack of communication on the back end. Lorenzo Ward wants to simplify things. Less in the way of zone pressures, more in the way of press coverage, and see if that side of the ball can play more freely. We'll see if it happens here tonight.
Struggles in Week 1 lead to changes in Week 2. South Carolina tweaking their defensive lineup for ECU. Meanwhile, for East Carolina, they come in with the ability to put up some points. They dropped 52 on North Carolina Central in the season opener, and their dynamic duo of quarterback and receiver, Shane Carden and Justin Hardy, they're as good as anybody.
Oh, no doubt about it. And I don't know that South Carolina can make as many moves defensively as they need to, but Shane Carden is a veteran in the air raid system. He gets rid of the ball very quickly. It's hard to get pressure on him, and Justin Hardy is an absolute dynamo at the slot receiver. 8 receptions, 87 yards. He threw a touchdown pass last week as well. Very dynamic.
We're underway in Columbia. And Sean Carson thought about it. Now he's out of the end zone. He'll have to run it out. Carson across the 20. Burst of speed. And he's across the 35, close to the 40-yard line. Fifth-year senior Dylan Thompson gets the start at quarterback for South Carolina. His 5th career start in Week 1 against Texas A&M. He statistically had the best game of his career. 366 yards, 4 touchdown passes. But Kelly, the coaching staff wants to see better decision-making.
Yeah, better decision-making and better accuracy that starts from the ground up. His feet sometimes get a little loose. We'll see how that goes to this evening.
On the ground on first down, and this is Brandon Wilds. Picks up a couple, 2nd and 8. Wilds getting the start at running back like he did last week. Mike Davis, who ran for almost 1,200 yards a season ago, was limited a week ago with bruised ribs.
Yeah, and Wilds is really a physical back, but Davis makes this offense a different offense completely. So they need him healthy. I think the hammy in camp and bruised ribs, and he's somewhat out of shape right now, but they need him back in the lineup.
Jonathan White with the stop after Wilds picks up 2.
And Anish, early in this game, we expected to see Coach Spurrier want to run the football. They have a massive offensive line and outweigh this ECU defensive line by a ton. Run it efficiently, extend drives, and keep that high-octane air raid offense off the sideline.
4-receiver look on 3rd down. Thompson, quarterback draw, runs into traffic, and he stood up. Krishawn Rose, the nose tackle with the tackle, and it's 3 and out for SC.
An interesting call because Dylan Thompson is not known for his running ability, but you can see the offensive lineman getting downfield. Wild leads up inside, so obviously it was a designed quarterback draw. He had a lead blocker, but a very good job by ECU up front.
Tyler Hull on to punt it away for South Carolina. Justin Hardy, the deep man for East Carolina. Hardy lets this one bounce. It takes an SC bounce. And they're going to mark it at the 1-yard line.
This was an absolute rocket shot by Hall, and a very good play right at the end to keep the ball out of the end zone. And that's the main thing, where the knee touches down, where the ball is placed, and a very good play. Tough place right now for ECU, backed up early in this game.
In college, the player can be in the end zone. The ball just can't cross the plane of the end zone.
That's exactly right, and that's what you saw. The player was in the end zone. The ball didn't cross.
Well, they've adjusted the spot, so ECU will have it from its own 4-yard line. Shane Carden throws on first down, and that's caught by Justin Hardy, and with that completion, Carden moves into a tie for second all-time on ECU's career list for completions. And there's Justin Hardy. He's got a chance to be the all-time FBS leader in career receptions by season's end.
And I think his biggest asset is catching the ball in traffic like he did on that first reception.
ECU's going to go quick. Carden across the middle. And another first down for the Pirates. Hardy on the catch.
And pedal to the metal, and the pace in which ECU executes is what's different from Lincoln Riley's Texas Tech days. They add pace to this air raid system.
Play action. Carden has time, and that's caught by Cam Worthy, the senior from Blair, South Carolina. It's just short of the first down, 2nd and 1. Carden over the middle, complete again. That's to Hardy. And like Texas A&M, ECU exploiting the middle of the field.
And that was one of the things we talked about at the top, the lack of communication on the back end. Hardy catches a ton of balls. You can't leave him uncovered into the middle of the defense.
Carden 6 for 6. Rolling to his right, throws it away, and that's his first incompletion.
And Anish, his first incompletion was maybe his best decision tonight thus far. There was nobody open. Throw the ball away. What you're telling yourself as a quarterback right now is we have 3 on the board. If we can get it into the end zone, that's better yet, but do not make a bad decision down here.
2nd and goal. Oftentimes, this is where we see spread offenses stall once they get inside the 10. Carden's going to keep this. Not much room. He stood up by a phalanx of defenders. 3rd and goal.
And ECU has been a very good offense at finishing in the red zone, because unlike Mike Leach's air raid defenses in the past at Texas Tech, offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley has the run game on the table, so you can finish better in the red zone if the run game is part of what you like to do.
On 3rd down, Carden throws, end zone, and that is incomplete off the hands of Hardy. So Carden to Hardy, a no-go there, and it's 4th down, and the field goal unit will come on.
Play action pass in the backfield, and then Hardy's just trying to cross the face. Hardy's open. If that ball's placed a little bit better, then Hardy has a touchdown. That was high, it was hard, and it was a really big missed opportunity. What a great opening drive, Anish, but ECU settles for 3 when they should have had a touchdown.
South Carolina defensively, after ECU marched up and down the field, they started inside their own 5. They'll give up the 3 here. Kick by Warren Harvey is good, and ECU on the road gets on the board first. Ruffin McNeil's team up 3-0. East Carolina with a 26-yard field goal from Warren Harvey has a 3-0 lead on South Carolina. Carson's going to run it out again. Spins, takes a big pop as he gets across the 20-yard line. And South Carolina bringing its offense on the field for its 2nd possession. That's Davis split wide. Thompson throws too high. And is it picked? It's an interception. Josh Hawkins off the tip ball, and ECU gets it right back.
And once again, we see an errant throw by Thompson on an open receiver. Ball placement moves the chains right here. It's high and outside, and Shaq Rowland just gets a hand on it. Josh Hawkins is opportunistic and comes down with it. That's a fairly easy pitch and catch, and Thompson threw it high and outside.
Thompson got one hand on it, and ooh.
You think it's going to be reviewed? Every play is reviewed. Is the play going to be stopped? And it doesn't look like it yet.
ECU gets the play off. Can't review it now. Carden chased, and he gets out of bounds. No gain. There's the defensive changes that Lorenzo Ward has made this week. Sky Moore would have started in week 1. It was a disciplinary issue. That's why he didn't get the start. But Jordan Diggs played much better than Sharon Golightly in the game against Texas A&M. Carden throws incomplete near side. Intended receiver Davon Grayson. Let's go down to Kara.
Well, Anish, about those changes, South Carolina defensive coordinator Lorenzo Ward told us the name of the game is competition. This year, a lot of the talent levels of the positions are very even for South Carolina. The players have to perform to play, and that's why the guys starting tonight earned that right this week.
3rd and 10. We saw Texas A&M convert too many 3rd and longs in week 1. They'll call the run, and that's Corey Hunter. He picks up about 4. So 4th down coming up.
South Carolina defensive coordinator Lorenzo Ward told us that they need to funnel this ECU offense to 3rd and behind schedule. And then he said, we're going to talk Carden into throwing the ball early, and that means he has to throw it before his receivers get to the sticks, and it was successful. That time it was a draw, but ECU was anticipating that pressure from South Carolina.
35-yarder for Warren Harvey. A season ago, he was just 5 of 13 from beyond 30. This one splits the uprights, 6-0 East Carolina. But if you're the Pirates, you've got to be thinking we've had a chance to do a little more damage than we've done here.
Yeah, the interception leads to 3 points, and I think if you're South Carolina, you probably are happy the fact that these are only ended up being field goals.
A sluggish start for the Gamecocks, but it's still only 6-0. 6:35 to go. First half, 6-0 ECU. Here's Carson. He's tripped up as he crosses the 15-yard line, marked down at the 18, an 18-yard return. On the ground to Mike Davis here on 1st down, and he picks up 6, 2nd and 4. Let's take a look at impact players for both teams.
Well, speaking of that offensive line, you have left tackle Corey Robinson. It's 344 pounds, and right beside him is Kane. Both of those guys will be playing on Sundays. And then you have Falls, the linebacker, who has to play over top of that 340-pounder, and Rose, the nose tackle, really has to play well tonight, right over the center.
Here's Davis. He'll try the middle. Pushes across the 30. And it's a 1st down for SC.
You know, Anish, last year, Mike Davis had almost 1,200 yards. A lot of carries. Over 200 carries. He makes this offense different. Get behind that big offensive line with the run game, and then go over top with Coach Spurrier. Loves to take shots.
much going on there. Montes Overton in on the stop, second down.
What ECU wants to do defensively, they also run a 3-4 scheme, and it's based on movement. Move the guys up front. Don't be setting targets, and then their best level is their linebacking level. Those guys have to slice and dice and make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
ECU defensively, they've got a lot of question marks as well. Most of those on the back end in the secondary. Thompson throwing near side, caught by Shaq Rowland, tackled immediately by Hawkins, but it's a first down. And Rowland is a guy South Carolina really wants to see break out. A former Mr. Football in the state of South Carolina. He followed Stephon Gilmore, Marcus Lattimore, and Jadeveon Clowney as Mr. Footballs who came to SC, but he really hasn't lived up to his potential in his first 2+ seasons.
Well, and he needs to make up for what South Carolina lost with Bruce Ellington. They need an alpha receiver, and Shaq Rowland is a great guy to take over that position.
Play action, screen pass. And Nick Jones brings it across the 40-yard line to the 42, a gain of 6.
South Carolina has a big advantage up front with this massive offensive line, but they also have really 3 to 4 speed guys outside. I think ball distribution to the perimeter is also a huge advantage for them tonight.
Here's Mike Davis. He's about 3 yards shy of the first down. Third down coming up. We're seeing Dylan Thompson go to some of these short intermediate passes you mentioned earlier. Those have been the problematic ones for him, not so much the deep balls.
Yeah, that's the point right there. His accuracy in the short to mid-range game needs to improve dramatically, but you have an offensive line with a great advantage. Mike Davis needs to carry the football.
Davis is going to cut it back. He's got the first down and more. Mike Davis into the end zone for a touchdown. These fans have been waiting and waiting for something to cheer about since last Thursday. And Mike Davis ties the game at 6. Point after by Elliott Fry is good, and South Carolina has the lead for the first time this season. Mike Davis finds the seam, keeps his balance, and gets the Gamecocks on the board. Electric atmosphere here on a Saturday night in Columbia, South Carolina. Mike Davis with a 36-yard touchdown run, and that's given the Gamecocks their first lead of 2014. There's Breon Allen. To the 19-yard line. Carden, play action. Little tunnel screen to Jimmy Williams, and he's across the 35-yard line. It's a first down for ECU.
And that's what you're going to see out of ECU as well. The screen game in a lot of different ways, but their wide receivers block for each other extremely well in that screen game. It makes it very tough to defend.
South Carolina against Texas A&M gave up 680 yards, 511 through the air. Carden on the run, incomplete. Good coverage that time by Rico McWilliams, who's starting this week but did not start in week 1.
Yeah, the play action again in the backfield, and offensive line-wise, they haven't blocked that play action pass very well. Ruffin McNeil doing a fantastic job. Remember his time at Texas Tech. Even though he was on the defensive side, he knew how to win games and brought that air raid system with him here for ECU.
ECU coming off a 10-win season, only the second in school history. Good blocking that time by the Pirates. And Breon Allen gets free all the way to the 41-yard line of SC.
We talked about that screen game just a minute ago, Anish, and it's not just the wide receivers. That's Allen out of the backfield. Very well set up. Carden does a quasi fake to one side of the field and throwing the screen back to Allen on the opposite side.
Carden 10 for 14 as we come up on 1 minute to play in the first quarter. On the ground. It's Allen again. He gets 6.
The way you slow a up-tempo offense down is you have to get a negative play, and they have to kind of throttle things down a bit. South Carolina hasn't slowed them down much at all.
Carden, little shovel pass. South Carolina read it all the way. Phillip Dukes blowing that play up, and it's 3rd and long.
And that's exactly the position that Phillip Dukes should have been in. A nose tackle, there isn't really anywhere for you to go. So just walk into the offensive lineman, hold the fort, and expect something just like that.
And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. East Carolina got a field goal on its first possession, then turned a turnover into 3 more. But a Mike Davis 36-yard touchdown has South Carolina on top after 1. Third and 9.
And this is where defensive coordinator Lorenzo Ward wanted to heat Carden up and make him throw the football early.
Here's the pressure. Carden eludes the pursuit. Now they get to him. He gets rid of the football, and it's ruled a catch. It's going to be a first down for ECU, a gain of 9. Who else? Justin Hardy.
And Ellen Williams on the pressure, but Carden does a great job of getting the ball off, first of all, but that's the ability to catch the ball that I'm talking about. Regardless of ball placement, number 2 comes down with it.
Again, pressure from SC. Carden off his back foot. That's complete. It's Hardy again. His 6th catch of the game.
And ECU is doing a very nice job of anticipating the pressure as they press in the red zone right here. That time it was screen outside, but Justin Hardy was running a man-beating pressure route inside, and he got the football.
Carden, quick release. That's caught by Davon Grayson. This is such a rhythm offense, ECU.
And Anish, on that play, you could see the lack of confidence in the secondary out of South Carolina. They were so soft on that short yardage situation right there. That was a really easy pitch and catch.
1st and goal, the ball just inside the 10. Look out for number 80, slot receiver, bottom of your screen. He's their big red zone target. Instead, it's a run. Hairston into the end zone, and ECU with its first touchdown of the game, and they take the lead.
Well, somewhat like Texas A&M is South Carolina just can't figure out a way to get this team off the field. You can see right there, there was a lot of traffic, poor tackling, and in the end, the ball ends up in the end zone. Very much like Texas A&M early.
That was nearly disaster. Carden had trouble with that shotgun snap. Point after is good. Chris Hairston breaks the tackle. Gets 6 for the Pirates. Anish, Rav, Kelly, Stauffer, Cara Capuano down on the field. We've got our pivot head glasses, giving us a nice vantage point there. East Carolina on the road, up 13-7 on USC.
I think so.
Lorenzo Ward mentioned a leadership void right now on the defensive side of the football. And South Carolina hasn't quite figured it out. Here's Sean Carson, and he's to the 25-yard line. Here's the blitz. Thompson going to go downfield for Bird. Incomplete. Crowd wanted a flag. No penalty marker. Josh Hawkins on coverage, and that's a tough assignment, running stride for stride with Damiere Byrd.
Hawkins was in pretty good shape. There was some infighting right at the end. He takes a good angle. Right there easily could have been called.
No
we
question.
saw it called the other way one time in this game already, and Hawkins got his left hand in there and impeded the progress to some extent by Byrd.
ECU got away with one. Thompson with time. Throws, caught by Farrell Cooper. He's still in bounds, dragging a couple of defenders to the 31-yard line. And it's a gain of 19 for the sophomore from Havelock, North Carolina, which is not far from the ECU campus.
Dylan Thompson does not lack arm strength. It's a very good route, the deep route from the opposite side of the field. And then right here, watch the feet. From the ground up, you have to step into it. You have to transfer the weight. Very well done. Nice route by Cooper. Nice throw by Thompson.
Here's the blitz. Thompson under pressure, gets rid of it. It's dropped. Rory Anderson could not hold on.
The pressure is going to come from this direction right there. Thompson does a nice job of drifting to the side. His route is going to be coming too, and then the play just was not finished.
Second drop by Anderson. No excuse there. That ball has to be caught. Instead of field goal try now by Elliott Fry. It's a 39-yarder. He only attempted one against Texas A&M and missed a 54-yarder. And this one is good. South Carolina settles for 3. They're down 3. Steve Spurrier did not mince words after a season-opening 52-28 loss to Texas A&M, and the defense was the culprit in that game.
Yeah, and I think ECU is showing a little bit of what Texas A&M did a week ago.
ECU will start at its own 25-yard line. Empty backfield. There's the pressure. Carden gets rid of it. Incomplete. Intended for Cam Worthy. South Carolina defensive coordinator Lorenzo Ward told us on third downs they want Carden to make decisions quickly. He does. And that was textbook for the Gamecocks. That's what Lorenzo Ward wanted. Bryson Williams, the veteran in that defensive backfield, making a big play.
That's the game plan for Lorenzo Ward right there, is they want to talk the quarterback Carden into throwing it earlier than he wants to. That's a perfect example of it. Right there. I mean, you throw the screen early, which was a design because of the pressure, but it was played very well out on the perimeter also.
That's what Lorenzo Ward told us. If East Carolina gets rid of the ball too quickly, we'll tackle them shy of that first down marker. First punt of the game for ECU. Farrell Cooper, the deep man. He retreats back inside his own 20. Cooper, who's the jack of all on this South Carolina team, returns it 5 yards after a 52-yard punt. USC ball down 3, 8:24 to go, first half. Four-man rush. Thompson, his pass over the middle. That is caught by Cooper. And Cooper gets it to the 46-yard line.
The safety Ivy in the corner. Hawkins actually had a bracket coverage on Cooper, but the safety needed to squeeze it down just a little bit more. Right coverage just wasn't properly executed by Ivy.
On second down, Mike Davis into the game at tailback, replacing Brandon Wilds. Here's the screen. Here's Shaq Rowland. Rowland in the open field. Nice juke move. And Shaq Rowland takes it inside the 25-yard line.
No double tight ends. And Mike Davis says run the football. They play action to him and get the screen out to Shaq Rowland quickly, and a very, very good block by Cooper outside. Very good footwork. Accurate pass means yards after catch, and you can see right there number 11, Farrell Cooper, working hard, and Shaq Rowland needs to become that difference maker in the pass game.
He has been a ball of potential energy since he arrived on campus a couple of years ago, and the coaches want to see that go kinetic and soon. There's Davis. He'll try the middle. Jonathan White met him after a short game. Dylan Thompson also seems to have settled down a bit after some early jitters in this game.
Yeah, his footwork has been much better the last couple of drives, and you could see it on that screen. It was tricky ball handling. Play action and then get it out successfully and on target to a screen guy.
Thompson floats it down the sideline. Davis! And he's marked out of bounds at the 3-yard line. First and goal for the Gamecocks.
Once again, Davis comes in to run the football, but he ends up running the wheel route down the sideline. He steps out probably on about the 3.5. Once again, very well executed, and that's an underestimated part of Mike Davis's game. He's a very good receiver out of the backfield.
Davis right up the middle, and South Carolina is back on top. Mike Davis has accounted for both of South Carolina's touchdowns, a 3-yard run and a 36-yard run, and SC leading ECU 17-13 with 4:49 to go. Breon Allen across the 20. Little stutter step and out of bounds near the 25-yard line. On the ground here on 1st and 10. Allen with a nice cutback. Has some room on that far side. Gets a block. Breon Allen inside the 25 and finally brought down near the 20-yard line. It's a 45-yard run by the senior from Daytona Beach.
And Allen is known as their scat back. He's very versatile, but watch the vision. Zone stretch really outside to the right, and then the vision to get back to where there's room, and then the speed to take it as well.
Carden's pass nearly intercepted. Chris Moody was the nearest person to that ball, and he was wearing the wrong colors.
Yeah, certainly a miscommunication between Carden and both receivers to that side. Carden was expecting one of the receivers to break it off into the flat. Both of them went vertical, and Chris Moody almost picked that ball off, and there wasn't anything but the end zone in front of him.
3rd and long. And Anthony Scott with no room. 4th down coming up.
That play did not look good from the beginning. The motion was kind of out of sync, and it was Scott coming in motion, kind of on the fly sweep, but there was no speed to it. Usually a fly sweep is to out-leverage the defensive line, and there was no pace to that play. Very conservative if you're ECU coming into this place to win a football game.
For Warren Harvey, this is a 42-yard attempt. 2 for 2 so far. He struggled from beyond 30, and this kick is blocked. That's a live ball. It's going to be South Carolina football. Gerald Dixon Jr. blocked it. And the pendulum has swung to the home team.
And Anish, you talked about it. This is out of Harvey's range, and so what they want to do is get a little bit more mustard on it. It was low, but the penetration up front as well by Dixon Jr. There was a blocking error inside. You have to block down and not allow penetration where the path of the ball is going to be.
Screen pass to Jones. It's actually Shaq Rowland, and he picks up 18 yards, finally brought down by Dominique Lennon. Dylan Thompson struggled on the Gamecocks' first 2 drives. Much better since then, and much better in the short to intermediate passing game.
Yeah, the quarterback feels obviously much more comfortable when your offensive line is playing well. And that's what he's getting right now up front. Very good presence in the run game, very good protection in the pass game.
Cooper, the slot receiver. Thompson over the middle, and that's incomplete. Intended that time for Jarrell Adams, the second tight end.
And not a very good read by Thompson on that play. A safety over the top, and Adams was being trailed by a defensive back as well. He threw that essentially into double coverage, and it could have cost them dearly. Don't get bored with the routine, and that's what Dylan Thompson did there. That was not the throw to make. You're into the red zone now. You need to get points. Don't force things right here.
Thompson on 3rd down, over the middle, tipped and nearly intercepted. Rowland could not hold on, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Rowland was singled to the top with 3 receivers to the opposite side, and once again the intermediate route, and Thompson doesn't transfer his weight properly. The result is high throw to Shaq Rowland.
42-yard attempt by Elliott Fry. He's hit from 39. Career long is 45. That came against Florida last year.
Right on that range line that I was trying to draw for you right there.
Kick by Fry is up, and he gets that one. So South Carolina ahead 20-13, but if you're East Carolina, after the block kick, you certainly take that.
Oh, Fry hit that well also. That range line needs to go back about 10 yards.
.102 left in the first half. Pirates will start at their own 25-yard line. Play action. Carden near side, caught by Hardy. Turns upfield, and he picks up a 1st down, tackled by Sky Moore.
You can see the up-tempo once again, and the clock stops this time of the first half when a 1st down is picked up by the offense.
Under 2 minutes, any play to the sideline, and if the player gets out of bounds, that'll stop the clock too. Carden with time. Chased. Throws it on the run and throws it away. 2nd and 10.
And the quarterback, Carden, needs to do a better job of understanding that you're well under a minute right here. You have to be able to throw that ball away early.
Flag on the play.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 97. The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot.
Ball's gone, and you can see 97. Surratt, that's a great call. There was a couple of extra steps, and the quarterback was actually out of bounds anyway.
And that now completely changes the tenor of this drive.
And Justin Hardy getting man-to-man coverage down on the back end. 3 receiver split very wide to the top of the screen.
Here's Hairston. Across the 45 to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Clock running.
And I didn't like that call at all. I know that ECU is going fast, but you run a zone stretch play outside expecting the running back to get out of bounds.
20 seconds to go in the half. Pirates with 1 timeout. Carden over the middle, has a receiver. That's caught by Cam Worthy. He's inside the 25-yard line. It's a 20-yard gain, and that'll momentarily stop the clock with 13 seconds. Empty backfield. No timeouts for the Pirates. Here's the pressure. Carden throws incomplete. Intended for Worthy.
That was a prototypical man look right there. Man across the board. It was easy to discern for a veteran quarterback, and his outlet receiver was actually standing open in the flat on the sideline. Shane Carden didn't see that very clearly.
9 seconds left. You might have had a shot at the end zone, but Ruffin McNeil looks like he's going to try for the 3 points. .40-yard field goal coming up for Harvey. Last one was blocked from 42. And that is good with Carroll with Coach Spurrier.
Coach, the offense struggled the first couple drives, then started to find success. How did they do that?
Well, we started throwing and mixing in the run. Mike Davis had some good runs. We need to make some tough catches. We keep letting the ball go off our hands a little bit. Our defense is hanging in there. It's going to be a tough game.
How can you guys pull away in the second half?
Well, hopefully we're in good shape and just keep on playing, see what happens.
Thanks, Coach. Anish?
South Carolina looking for its first win of the season. ECU looking to go to 2-0. It's a 4-point game at the break. SEC on ESPN. Your halftime score. The home team, the South Carolina Gamecocks, leading East Carolina 20-16. South Carolina looking for its first win of the season. They lost in week 1 badly to Texas A&M. ECU in its first season in the American Conference trying to go to 2-0. Nate Schroff, Kelly Stauffer, Cara Capuano. We're about ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. ECU to receive. And they'll start from their own 25-yard line. Time for tonight's Game Track, brought to you by Taco Bell. A very evenly played first half. Kelly, Shane Carden, solid, not spectacular though.
And not finishing drives, and that's the biggest thing. And then Mike Davis is the key we talked about for South Carolina, number 28. Running the football, receiving out of the backfield. He's the momentum that offense needs.
South Carolina got its offense going after a slow start, but as we start the 3rd quarter, how critical is this drive in this game?
I think it's essential. I think when you go on the road in an environment like this, in order to come away with a win, you have to go establish yourself again in this half. Very important for ECU.
Carden near side, caught by Hardy again, and wrapped up by Jordan Diggs. Good tackle in space by Diggs, who's getting the start at Spur linebacker this week over Sherrod Golightly.
And Diggs is another defender that really needs to start being active. He's their blitzer out of the secondary. He got a start here today, and he's that guy. The Spur position is kind of a hybrid linebacker defensive back position. He needs to be seen and heard.
On 2nd down, Carden over the middle, and it's ruled incomplete. Al Harris Jr., the son of the former All-Pro NFL cornerback, nearly gave South Carolina the ball.
And one of the few misfires that we've seen out of Carden, right there, you know what Carden can see is the defender in front of Hardy. And so as a quarterback, it's natural for you to try to slow your receiver down, but that was almost a big mistake on his part.
Carden trying to make something out of nothing. Chased, under pressure, floats it up, and it's intercepted. Sherrod Golightly, who struggled so much against Texas A&M, gets the ball for USC.
One of the first really poor decisions we've seen out of Shane Carden. First of all, he avoided the pressure really well and got outside. And the play was to run that ball out of bounds. The throw late, and you don't throw it completely into the stands, is double jeopardy by the veteran quarterback. But what a really nice play by Golightly. His right foot was ruled in bounds. He possessed the football. I think that's an interception.
And he's a guy seeking redemption this week after struggling and getting picked on by Kenny Hill in that Aggie offense last Thursday. We talked about how critical this first drive was, and now South Carolina, if they can get points off the turnover, all of a sudden the mountain gets a lot bigger for ECU. Davis on that right side, he's had a nice game, picks up 7. And Mike Davis up to 66 yards on the ground.
And Anish, you talk about getting lathered up front. Remember, on the line of scrimmage, South Carolina has a huge advantage in size. They need to get behind that big veteran offensive line with their big running back in Mike Davis and make hay early in this second half.
Thompson just 10 of 20 in the first half, finds Pharaoh Cooper. And Cooper picks up a Gamecock first down.
And that was something that we saw to South Carolina when their offense got going in the first half. Running game inside, play action pass, screen game outside like they did on that play right there.
Near side, this is Jones across midfield into ECU territory. Second and short.
And really, Anish, what it is right now for South Carolina is a numbers game. We're running the football, so ECU has to load up guys in the box so we get outside with those numbers.
First down, rather, for South Carolina after the spot. Thompson again. Another bubble screen. This time it's Cooper. And he's across the 40-yard line to about the 36-yard line, and that's close to another Gamecock first down.
Dominic Lennon, number 31, he's this free safety for ECU that's trying to get down into the box. So what the quarterback Dylan Thompson does is he just pulls it and throws it outside because of the heavy box inside.
Lennon filling big shoes, replacing the departed Damon Magazoo, who was the leader of that secondary. Thompson over the middle. And that's brought in by Davis. We mentioned he's a dual threat, rushing and receiving, and he'll move the chains for SC.
And that play action pass right there, Anish, was meant to be a shot play going down the field, but a very nice job by Thompson. Nothing was open down the field in his vertical routes. Dropped the ball off to Mike Davis and moved the chains.
Brandon Wilds in at running back. ECU uses a 3-4 defense, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. Pressure off the edge. Thompson picked up the blitz, finds Rowland, and he's brought down after another South Carolina first down. And Rowland's helmet comes off, so he'll have to come out for a play.
Right now what South Carolina is doing is what's a double read post snap. They're trying to get the overhang defender in jeopardy. If he steps inside the box, Dylan Thompson pulls it and gets it outside.
Thompson 5 of 5 here on this drive. Nothing going there. Krishawn Rose blew up that play in the backfield.
Steve Spurrier doesn't run a lot of quarterback read plays with Dylan Thompson. They ran a lot of that with Connor Shaw, not so much of it now. And you could tell in that play, that was a give from the get-go.
On second down, Wilds underneath. And he's to the 16-yard line. 3rd and 5 coming up.
On the second and long, ECU is playing soft zone coverage on the back end. A great call by Steve Spurrier on the screen. When you get soft coverage, let the defenders get into their zones and then dump it in front of them with the screen game.
It's a good. Mike Davis in the backfield. He's been a threat in the receiving game. Thompson, end zone, wide open. KJ Brent, touchdown, South Carolina.
Very good read once again, and route running. Brent goes to the corner. Jones went inside. The old ball coach is happy with that play call and happy with where his quarterback threw it. Well executed all the way around.
Point after is good. The touchdown, the first of KJ Brent's career. A fourth-year junior from Waxhaw, North Carolina. And South Carolina with its biggest lead of the game. You could hear a collective sigh here at Williams-Brice Stadium. The South Carolina fans haven't had much to cheer about in the first couple of weeks. A little tense going into halftime with the Gamecocks up by 4. We said the first drive of the third quarter would be critical. East Carolina with an interception on its opening possession, and South Carolina turns that into 7 points. ECU's defense has not been able to stop South Carolina since the first 2 drives. There's Breon Allen, little screen. And he's going to be close to a first down. About a yard shy, 2nd and 1.
And if the first drive of the first half is important, this one is doubly important after you just gave up that touchdown. So it's important to just stick with the game plan, but go down and get this ball in the end zone.
High snap. There's the screen. Isaiah Jones picks up the first as he gets to the 41, a gain of 7.
And the quick screen outside, and Isaiah Jones highlights the problem that South Carolina is having in the secondary. Sherrod Golightly was out there in space once again and could not finish the play.
4-man rush. Carden over the middle, and that's intercepted. TJ Gurley with the pick.
Once again, Shane Carden just makes a bad throw. You'll see number 2, Justin Hardy, go across the middle of the field. Look at if that ball is in front of Hardy, that's a completion and maybe a big play. The throw behind Hardy afforded Gurley the opportunity to come up with that turnover once again.
Lorenzo Ward, South Carolina's defensive coordinator, told us that Gurley really stood out in practice this week, and he bumped Gurley into the starting lineup. So East Carolina's first 2 drives result in interceptions here in the third quarter. Mike Davis fighting for extra yards, and he gets to the 49, close to midfield. Give him 4, 2nd down and 6.
And you can see a little bit into what Steve Spurrier is thinking after that turnover. They get big on the offensive line, and Cody Gibson comes in as well, number 90, a former tackle, to add more weight because they want to grind it out once again and press this ECU defensive front just a little bit more.
Thompson over the middle, and that's caught. A first down for the Gamecocks, Nick Jones.
ECU's playing 2 high safeties and 5 defenders underneath, and the underneath defenders just didn't feel this very well. You can see how much space between the back end and that second level. You have to communicate a little bit better than that. Way too much operating room for Nick Jones.
2 tight end look here. We'll go back to Davis. Plows into a bunch of white shirts. He runs hard, doesn't he?
You see how that pile was moving clear until the end? And you remember Earl Campbell, and I'm not making this direct comparison, but in terms of style, Earl Campbell got better the more he got lathered up. That's Mike Davis. He's a thick dude. He's very big on the bottom end, and the more he touches it, the better he sees it, the better he feels it, and the more effective he is.
Dylan Thompson, 11 of 12 here in the second half. He'll hand it off that time. And a short game by Brandon Wilds. So 3rd down and a touchdown here would make it pretty tough for East Carolina to claw back into the game. If you're the Pirates and you can hold South Carolina to a field goal, it's still a 2-score game. If you can force a turnover, something crazy happens, you're still in this game.
Yeah, you have a lot of ifs and buts in that description, but you're exactly right. The key right now is for this Pirate defense to hold Dylan Thompson and company out of the end zone.
Play action. Thompson gets a great block from Wilds. He's going to try to run. Now he throws back in the end zone and just a little high for Rory Anderson, his tight end. It looked like if he took off, he might have had a shot to get that first down.
Yeah, Steve Spurrier has done this a few times tonight. They condense the formation, double tight in a fullback, and then they play action pass out of it. A tremendous job by ECU rallying out of the play fake and covering very well. Dylan Thompson had Anderson right there. If he would have just taken his time, he got a little rushed and threw it high.
Elliott Fry on for the field goal. This is a 26-yarder for his career. He's 10 of 11 inside 30. And the sophomore from Texas drills it. South Carolina up 2 touchdowns. Less than a minute to go with the 3rd. Hairston into South Carolina territory, and he picks up a first down, a gain of 13 yards. Hairston has the only touchdown of the game for the Pirates.
Poor decision by Jonathan Walton on that play. Keeps this drive alive, but you're exactly right. ECU's defense kept South Carolina out of the end zone. Hope is certainly still alive here with this offense.
Pirates just haven't been able to finish drives. Carden throws, and that one skips. Good coverage that time by the true freshman, Chris Lamars.
And that's more of that press coverage that Lorenzo Ward told us about. He felt his guys were doing a better job in press coverage last week, and he probably went to more of that a little bit too late. But right there, the press bump and run, a little holding at the end of that play, but he got away with it.
Here's Hairston trying to get away from Sky Moore. Moore slowed him up. His teammates finished off the play. And that will take us to the 4th quarter. Turnovers proved to be big in that 3rd quarter. South Carolina turning 2 of them into 10 points, and they've got a 14-point edge. East Carolina led 13-7 at one point. It has been all South Carolina since. They've scored 23 of the last 26 points. 3rd and 8 ECU as we start the 4th. There's pressure. Carden, low throw, caught by Justin Hardy, and then he's tackled from behind by JT Surratt. Great pursuit there by the defensive lineman.
That was impressive at 310 pounds coming from his defensive tackle position. But that's a great example of making the quarterback throw it before his receivers can get the first down yardage.
No surprise here, ECU going for it on 4th and 3. Four-man rush. Carden flushed. He'll try to run for the marker, and he picks up a first down.
Really nice play by Carden at the end to pick up that first down, but tremendous coverage on the back end. There was nothing there, nowhere for him to throw the football, and he's a sneaky athlete. He slid to his right and got outside and converted.
Justin Hardy, top of your screen. He's the go-to receiver, north of 100 yards today. That's Isaiah Jones, who's been quiet today after a 10-catch, 150-yard performance in the season opener.
And typically, because all the attention that Hardy is getting at the top of the screen, number 7, Isaiah Jones, typically has a lot more room to operate.
Carden on the move, chased by Mason Harris, throws across his body, and somehow that ends up being a positive play. Jones hauls it in, and ECU will face 3rd and 1. Four down territory, no question for the Pirates. Carden will keep it and run it himself for the first down.
One of the few times, Anish, we've actually seen the quarterback zone read with the quarterback keeping the ball. Usually it's a design give. This is a very good way to regulate the pressure that South Carolina is coming with as ECU marches into the red zone.
Breon Allen replaces Anthony Scott at tailback. Allen gets the call. Running left. And sneaks across the 20-yard line.
The zone run that's designed actually to be an outside play all along. It's essentially a zone stretch, and number 9, Sherrod Golightly, the spur backer for South Carolina, just lost contain on that play.
ECU replacing a terrific rusher, Contavious Cooper. They have back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Four-man rush. Carden over the middle. End zone touchdown, Cam Worthy. Touchdown ECU. And boy, do the Pirates need that.
Oh, you're not kidding. And a very good read. Hardy is to the right, getting a lot of attention in the seam route up the middle by Worthy. Hold the safety in the middle of the field because of the look over to the right with Hardy and come back to the seam route on the opposite side.
And if you got to throw it a little high, you can for Worthy. He has a 43-inch vertical leap, the 3rd highest ever recorded by an ECU football player. Point after is good. It's still a ball game here in Columbia. ECU has made it a 1-score game. Carden to Worthy for 6. Shane Carden and East Carolina getting a much-needed score, and the Pirates down by 7. And with that last touchdown pass, Shane Carden now 2nd all-time. He'll pass Dominique Davis as long as he stays healthy, but he's equaled David Garrard. And by the time Carden leaves Greenville, he's going to have pretty much every major passing record, which is impressive when you consider the quarterback lineage of that school. Not just Garrard and Dominique Davis, Jeff Blake, Marcus Crandall. There's been some good ones out of there.
And Carden coming back from 2 bad interceptions the previous 2 drives is really impressive as well.
Here's Carson, drops it, picks it up, and he's down at the 11-yard line. South Carolina bleeding the play clock a little bit. Here's Rowland. Gets away from Hawkins and gets upfield to the 30-yard line, brought down by Zeke Bigger.
See, that's the post-snap game that Dylan Thompson and Steve Spurrier are playing. We have a zone run inside, and we have a screen outside. But the quarterback's decision is not made until after the snap. If the defense steps down inside, he pulls it and throws the screen outside.
Dylan Thompson, not at quarterback. Wildcat look here. Pharaoh Cooper in. Cooper will run it himself, and East Carolina read that all the way. Good tackle there by Fred Presley. No gain.
And that Wildcat concept has worked well. It worked actually pretty well against Texas A&M. They got a couple of plays out of it, and they've gotten a couple of plays out of that tonight. That one was not among the good ones.
Big third down. East Carolina looking for a stop. South Carolina looking to extend the drive. Wilds, first down. And USC able to move the chains. Lamar Ivy the tackle, but not before a pickup of 7.
And that was leaning on the guys up front. Look at the bulk right here and right here. Double tight ends, and you have a slot, a wing to one side, which is a big receiver in Cooper, and that's exactly where they go. Lean on that offensive line, get a couple of tight ends in there, and just move the line of scrimmage.
Wilds again. He'll try the middle. Breaks a couple of tackles. And he's a yard shy of the first down. A gain of 9. And this East Carolina defense, they've been up against that big O-line for the better part of 3 quarters. They've got to be a little gassed right now.
Yeah, and that was the exact same play. Same formation, double tights. Cooper comes down in a wing, and you're getting everyone in a box, and we're just saying that I don't think you can do anything about it. And right now, exactly what you said. I don't know that ECU has any answers.
The Pirates will need a stop. They're down by 7, but South Carolina has scored on its last 6 drives. Again, across the middle. And it's Wilds with another first down, a gain of 6. You just get the feeling here, South Carolina exerting its willpower on that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, SEC offensive lines ought to be able to get lathered up and finish games, and you're seeing it out of those guys right there. Getting a very good fit and push up front. If that's one of the best, if not the best, offensive line here in this program, hitch the wagon to them right now.
And South Carolina content to let that play clock run down a little bit. Mike Davis. And he's to the 45-yard line. Give him 4. 2nd and 6. Do you take a shot downfield here, or do you stay with the conservative running game, which has worked?
I think you stick with what's working right here. It's lasted over 5 minutes currently and counting, and every tick that, or every second that ticks off the clock, Carden and Hardy are off on the sideline.
ECU bringing some pressure. Davis breaks the tackle, picks up a first down. He's across the 40-yard line, finally brought down by Lamar Ivy. And the Pirates have no answer for this SC running game.
And that's exactly what defensive coordinator Rick Smith told us. Is the bottom line is what happens when they just line up with that big offensive line and roll us up. I don't know that we have any answers. Well, he was right. On this drive, they haven't had any answers.
Mike Davis, who had 7 100-yard games a season ago, gets a breather, 3 yards shy of the century mark today.
It's been the exact same formations, double tight with Cooper on the wing to the left.
Why not another run? This time Wilds. You keep picking up 5, 6, 7 yards on the ground. Why go away from it?
Yeah, the answer is you shouldn't. And the only thing that would be a little creative is ECU's defense is not checking Dylan Thompson outside, so he could call it on his own and pull it and get around the edge and probably be completely undefended.
And if you think about South Carolina's success in the second half, sure, the 2 turnovers by ECU helped quite a bit, but it's been the short passing game and it's been the power running game. Wilds again, and right now South Carolina is just running all over this ECU front.
And you're right, there just isn't any answer, but let's just take a look. Watch the fit up front right here. There's a hat on a hat, and you're going to get a little movement right in there. I mean, can you do anything about that? That's just a massive humanity pushing the littler guys around, and I just don't think there's an answer to it.
This drive has lasted more than 7 minutes. This will be the 13th play of the drive. It feels a lot like Texas A&M's final drive against South Carolina last Thursday. Wilds, and he's to the 25.
We joked with defensive coordinator Rick Smith about, the D coordinator's worst nightmare is waking up in the middle of the night with the offense is running it and we can't get off the field, and this is what that nightmare looks like.
8 consecutive runs by South Carolina. There is no element of surprise right now.
The same formation, and the only variety has been they'll flip the formation once in a while and just go the opposite side, same play.
ECU crowding the box. And now SC to the air. That's caught by Jarrell Adams. And he takes Dominique Lennon down with him all the way inside the 15-yard line of the 11.
This is how football used to be played in the SEC. It's just pounded, 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 and then when there's too many defenders in the box, play action pass and get a big tight end out in the flat that can rumble with it a ways, and that's what South Carolina is doing currently.
We thought this year we might see more of the fun and gun from Steve Spurrier with Dylan Thompson, more of a traditional pocket passer. Connor Shaw could run a little more. This might be the formula. It just might be old school smash mouth football. They go back to the ground. Davis, he's tackled back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss. It'll bring up 2nd and long. Josh Hawkins on the stop. I'm looking at the drive chart right now. This drive has taken more than 9 minutes. This will be the 16th play. South Carolina started at its own 12. They're in field goal range. This has to be demoralizing for East Carolina.
That's a perfect word. I mean, when you're on defense and there isn't anything you can do about it, you can't put all 11 in the box. They're coming close to it, but that still isn't helping.
Here's Mike Davis. He's got 2 touchdowns in this game. And Davis fights his way to the 11-yard line. 3rd and long coming up. And let's see if East Carolina uses a timeout. It appears they have. So the Pirates stop the clock with 2:23 to go. It's still a 1-score game. And this drive, 9 minutes and 40 seconds still going. 3rd down coming up. 16 plays, 77 yards. South Carolina began the drive with more than 12 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. My partner Kelly Stauffer said, hey, plenty of time for East Carolina.
I said that? Are you serious?
We'll go back and watch the tape. 3rd down, Dylan Thompson will keep it himself. Thompson across the 5, and he is going to be just shy of that 1st down marker, tackled by Dietrich Allen, and now Steve Spurrier facing 4th down and short. Do you kick the field goal, go up by 10?
Oh, absolutely.
That's the play, right?
Yeah, you have to go up by two scores.
There's no other option here.
Well, considering the way they've been running the football, you're tempted, but it's not the prudent thing to do.
South Carolina attempting a chip shot 20-yard field goal. Elliott Fry has hit 3 today. 3 out of 3. He's hit from 39, 42, and 26. And that That will make it a 10-point Gamecock advantage. And Steve Spurrier closing in on his 200th win as an SEC head coach. Only Bear Bryant and Vince Dooley have done that. We've got our NFL draft analyst, Kevin Weidel, down on the field. Kevin, what did you make of South Carolina's display offensively, especially up front?
Well, you look at the left side of the offensive line, you're looking at Corey Robinson at 6'8", 350 pounds. Maybe not the most gifted athlete, but he's massive with impressive length. And then you look at the inside at the guard position. A.J. Cann, our top interior offensive lineman in the country, and for good reason. He's got outstanding technique. He's a flexible athlete in his lower half and really plays with great leverage.
There's Trayvon Brown looking for some room, and the freshman tackled at the 20-yard line.
Absolutely. I mean, and you look at the left and right tackle, very big. They are enormous size and length. This is a team that, if they can get the run game going, going to be able to take some pressure off of Dylan Thompson.
ECU still going here, less than a minute and a half to go. Breon Harris picking up a first down. It's been a valiant effort by the Pirates going into hostile territory, and for a team entering its first season in the American Athletic Conference, you've got to like their chances. Carden will tuck it and run. And a nice open field tackle by T.J. Gurley, who has an interception in this game. Coming up next here on ESPNU, Air Force and Wyoming. Wyoming's got a new head coach, Craig Bohl, going to the Cowboys after winning 3 straight FCS championships with the Bison of North Dakota State. Carden on the move again. Slides just shy of the first down marker.
Anish, the question tonight is, did we see the improvement out of South Carolina defensively that we had talked about?
Let me ask you this. Do you feel good about South Carolina's defense going into the Georgia game next week?
I really don't feel that good about it, to be honest with you. They still don't have explosive playmakers on the line of scrimmage. And remember what they're going to be facing in the run game next week with Georgia.
We'll get you out to Laramie next for Air Force Wyoming. ECU, this is the first of 3 straight against Power 5 schools. They have Virginia Tech next week, then North Carolina, then a bye week before conference play opens against SMU. Justin Hardy gets to pad his stats a little bit, and Steve Spurrier and South Carolina walk off a winner. It's official now, his 200th win as an SEC head coach. Gamecocks get back into the win column, and they get ready for a big game next week here in Columbia against Georgia. Time to get you to Laramie, Wyoming. Air Force and Wyoming.